The agricultural economist Omardath Maharaj says allocations to the agriculture sector for the 2016-2017 must be put to greater use. He says the call on the sector, depending on the flow of the economy over the years, to be a pillar of diversification is simply rhetoric, and government must act. As the national community anticipates the 2016-2017 fiscal budget, he says it is a necessity for policymakers to do more towards preserving food and nutrition security at the household level, protect and strengthen the men and women who feed the nation, and build consensus on the way forward. Mahalia Joseph has more.
The import market for food is contracting rapidly, but agricultural economist Omardath Maharaj gave suggestions on how Trinidad and Tobago can compensate for that.
One is you put money behind the people who are actually producing, whether it be rural farmers, whether it be farmers built on technology like aquaponics, aquaculture, hydroponics and so on, and see what investments can carry their own work effort forward. You need to also put money into supplying the thing, because if you say grow more food, grow more, yes, fair enough. But what are we using to move more, grow more? Which are the implements?
He says in better economic times, Trinidad and Tobago wasn't investing in the productive capacity of the sector.
So we are still at developmental stages of this agricultural sector, I think. And there are a lot of challenges here that other economies would have been long gone ahead with, so that they can fall back on the sector when other industries dry up. So I think we need to move rapidly. We need to engage open consultation and even-handed engagement of all stakeholders on the way forward.
$1.2 billion was allocated to the ministry last year, and about $1 billion of that was recurrent expenditure, according to Mr. Maharaj.
But the development program for the sector benefited from an allocation of $156 million, just about. Of that 156, 25 million was allocated to two specific projects, 15 million for the construction of the Caranage fishing complex, and 10 million to begin the Moruga fishing port.
Going forward, he says we need to look at the positioning of the sector.
We are faced with a food import bill of approximately $5.5 billion on average per annum, and that is expected to rise simply because, well, one simple factor is that the pressure on the exchange rate. So we'll be paying more for our imports.
Outside of Trinidad and Tobago, other countries are investing heavily in their agri-sector.
China just this week their government agreed to invest $450 billion to modernize their agriculture sector by the year 2020. That money is targeted towards their own government policy, of course, which focuses on protecting their national food security, building their capacity for overseas trade, and strengthening the Chinese seed industry.
By the year 2020, China is positioning itself to become a worldwide food supplier. According to UN Comtrade statistics, China is the second largest import market for Trinidad and Tobago at an estimated value of US $482 million in 2015, or 7.5% of our total imports. Our main import market is the United States of America at an estimated value of US $2.5 billion, or 38.9% of total imports. Mr. Maharaj also says the FACTA legislation issues will also heap distress on our food and agricultural input supplies if not addressed. Mahalia Joseph, C News.